it's not too bright, but I don't want my videos to be so dark because sometimes I be noticing like when I have the video, like look at this, when I have the video like in a certain setting, the light just fluctuates and it gets really dark. So I'm just gonna have it like this, and it might, the light might go in and out, but depending on how the sun is moving with the clouds. How should I call this video? I'm gonna do, today is gonna be a how I work with brands as a upcoming influencer. First of all, hello you guys, my name is Lunya. Don't forget to comment, rate, and subscribe. Now that you're done subscribing, now let's get back into the video. I feel like I can say that I'm an upcoming influencer, being that I do work with brands and I create content. Okay, I felt like you guys were too far away, so I had to bring you guys a little bit closer. Let me go ahead and put some moisturizer on my face to begin because my face is so dry. I have really dry skin, but it's like, it's not really dry skin. Like my skin is dry to oily. So at first, like when I do my skincare, hold on. Anyway, sorry for that. Mail was being dropped off. What was I even talking about? Like I completely lost my train of thought. That freaking distracted the fuck out of me. Anyways, today is content day for me. Not content day, but it's like brand content day for me, which is something I do take the time out to specifically have. Okay, so basically I'm gonna explain to you guys how it works because I don't know where to even start. One of the most important things is that you're gonna have to change your profile to a business profile. You can no longer have just a personal regular Instagram. You now should have a business Instagram because you're looking to work with brands. So now you're a business. You are now a business. You're a sole proprietor. So once you change your account to like a business account, you want to start attaching your business email. I wouldn't use an email that I wouldn't check regularly because brands usually want to work with people at a certain time frame, and they would like a response in a certain time frame because they are a brand. They have their own deadlines that they have to meet. I can see all of the brands that want to reach out to me, they will automatically go to that email, and there wouldn't be like a lot of spammy emails, you know, covering up any kind of brands that's looking to work with me. So that's the most important thing, how to even start, to even look for, to even start with brands. You have to have a business Instagram. Your page must be public, and you must have must have an email attached to your Instagram business page. I wish I would have asked you guys, like, what do you guys want to know? Maybe I'll do that right now. I'm gonna do it right now. So spontaneous. Okay, so yeah, honestly, I just feel like I've just been yapping a fucking way. So I have to go ahead and speed up my makeup process. I'm gonna go ahead and speed up this makeup process. We are not fighting with the sun today, period. Basically, the first question she asked, everything laughing but serious, but no, how did you go about starting? Okay, how did I go about starting? So, oh my god, this was a while ago. Okay, so I basically started creating content 3 years ago. So like I started like getting on Instagram and purposely creating photos that were like pleasing to the eye. I started on Instagram, and I was always like a big YouTube girl, like ever since I was in New York City in college. I was watching like YouTube. I was watching Kim Johansson, and I was watching like Jenna Marbles and stuff like that. I was like OG. I was watching Aaliyah J. I was watching her videos while I was in New York and she was in New York. I'm a watcher, okay? If I'm gonna do one thing, I'm gonna watch some motherfucking YouTube. So basically, being that I started off on Instagram, I kind of like was already in the swing of knowing how to take my photos, kind of like learning my style of content creating. And so 5 months to a year after I took my Instagram serious and started to create, like 6 months later, I just was like, you know what, I don't really feel like I want to just do Instagram. Like, I want to get in front of the camera fully. I don't want to just snap a photo. I want to create videos. I want to create content. I want to, you know, like, I felt so alive anytime I had a camera in my hand. I felt good. I felt like I knew what I was doing, even though I didn't know what I was doing. I felt like this was where I needed to be. So I decided to go into YouTube, not only just Instagram. So that being said, so now that I'm like, you know, trying to get on YouTube, and this was like 2.5 years ago. So 2.5 years ago, YouTube, it was still popular. Like, it was really super popular, and everybody was like already, you know, making a name for themselves on YouTube. And so I kind of felt like I was already starting pretty late in the game, but I actually was starting at a really good time. So around this time, that's when a lot of the hair brands were sending out hair to everybody to like review and leave, you know, reviews and stuff like that. So now I'm starting on YouTube, and the type of content that I'm creating on my channel is based around, well, was and kind of still is. I'm kind of steering away from the beauty part of it, but it's more so still in the realm of lifestyle, beauty, fashion. So when you're creating your channel, you kind of just want to have in mind of like your niche. Like, what kind of audience do you want to attract? Do you want to attract like foodie type of people? Are you a cook? Do you love to cook like huge meals or even small meals? Do you love food? So if you love food, you can make it on Instagram and YouTube off of food. Even if you're a beautiful woman, a beautiful man, whoever you are, you don't have to go with the norm of what everybody else is doing. So if you love food, you don't have to do fashion and beauty because you see all the other girls are doing it. Like, you could make it off of food on Instagram and YouTube. You can make it off of anything, like literally fucking anything. You could pull anything out of your and fucking put it on the internet and make some money off of it. So, but my channel, I love makeup. I love makeup. I love beauty. I love fashion. I like to decorate my house. Like, this is what I like. So I took it upon myself to start creating beauty videos and hair videos and lifestyle videos, things like that. So as I'm creating the content on my channel and posting it, hair companies are reaching out to me, and I'm creating all this content, and I have my email address attached to my YouTube channel as well. So now not only is it attached to my Instagram, it is also attached to my YouTube channel. So now brands are reaching out to me through YouTube, not Instagram. Okay, YouTube is where, so sorry about that, my camera died, sorry. Where was I? So yes, so now I'm on YouTube, and I have an email for brands to reach out to me. Now Amazon, YouTube, hair companies are reaching out to me via email, and now I'm creating content for them. So basically, the first brand to ever reach out to me was, I think it was this hair brand. It was an Amazon hair brand. Basically, they said that they'll send me hair, and for my review, they'll send me hair for a hair review on my YouTube channel. And at the time, I'm still growing my followers, and this was the first brand to ever reach out to me. So now I'm excited as fuck. I'm feeling myself. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling like, yes, the brands want to work with me, like create content. You feel me? I'm feeling myself. I'm feeling real good, or whatnot. And so now I start to create YouTube videos for this hair brand in exchange for the hair. And that's usually how a lot of people are going to start off. And I also want to touch on this really quickly because I kind of was really loud about it, and I feel like I need to clarify a little bit on it. Like, I don't want it to be taken the wrong way. So before I was saying like, yeah, I don't think people should be working for free. Basically, like, somebody sending you hair is not really paying your bills. Yeah, you're helping their brand grow, but they're gonna make all of the sales that you're promoting their hair from. They're gonna make those sales and not give you a dime from it. And now you're gonna have that video on the internet for however fucking long, and now they're making all the sales from you. So just be wary about that. Just keep that in mind. But now what I'm gonna say is that, so yeah, at the time I was saying like, you know, don't work for free for brands. And technically that is kind of like working for free, because you're creating this content and they're not giving you a single dime from it. And come on now, their hair, they're gonna say their hair is like $100 or whatever dollars, but maybe let's be realistic. More times than likely, these hair companies are Asian companies, and they're getting the hair wholesale for like 10 bucks. Come on now, I'm not worth $10. But with that being said, on the same note, I don't want anybody to feel like you gotta turn down collaborations because they're giving you free items. Let's be realistic, okay? Let's be like real for a second. Like, let's take a second to be real. Why would a brand pay you as an upcoming micro influencer? You get about 50 to 100 likes on your photos, 4 to 5 clicks on your website, 4 to 5 clicks on a tag, 5 shares. You know, like, you're growing your channel, your Instagram, whatever, you're growing your page. Why would a brand want to pay you to promote their brand to your small audience that may or may not be engaging with you, instead of paying a huge influencer that has tons of engagement, tons of loyal followers, get lots of clicks, lots of shares? You know, why would they pay you instead of them? They're not. Like, let's be real, they're not going to pay you at first. Like, they're not gonna do it. I know it sounds so bad, and I don't want to crush anybody's dreams, but I don't want to be on here lying to you guys. As somebody that started off, and I still consider myself as a micro influencer, as someone who's just started getting paid to work with brands, I'm gonna let you know right now, do not turn down collaborations because they're not paying you. If the items are free, you better accept it, girl. Create all the content that you want, because say now you get this free item, you say, okay, you know what, yes, I will work with your brand, thank you for sending me this item, I will create the content, yada 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 yada. Now you create the content and they decide, whoa, your content is actually doing great, you make great content, you have lots of engagement, you know, you meet all their requirements. Now they're most likely going to want to work with you. They're gonna say, you know, okay, we know how you work, we know your engagement, we know, you know, the type of person that you are, we feel like you're good to work with our brand, we want to pay you. And that's how you start putting your feet into the door of getting paid with brands. So please don't think like you're gonna come into this whole like influencer world making bag. Like, you're not gonna be making a bag at first. I'm letting you know that right now. You're gonna be creating a few free content here and there, and honestly, it's not really, I don't really even consider it to be free content. I look at it as I was creating content for a brand while learning how I even wanted to create content. Because if you think about it, I didn't even know, like, my content back then compared to my content now is so much better compared to what I am worth now. I know for a fact if I work with a brand, I can give them a price. When you're starting off as a super micro upcoming influencer, how can you give a brand a price if you don't even know you know, you don't know yourself as a content creator. Like, you have to completely understand yourself as a content creator, not as a person, not as an individual. You are now a completely different person. Like, you're not completely different, but you, for the most part, you are a different person now. You have to cater to your niche. You have to understand your audience, understand, you know, you as a brand, not just you as a, hey, I'm Lunya and I'm a mommy, I'm a fiance, I'm a sister. You know, you're no longer that. You are you as a brand on the internet. You are a face now, and you have to understand what comes with that and all of the logistics, analytics, all of that in between. You have to figure it out and understand it and kind of learn your wave around the job. Like, I'm letting you guys know, like, you're not gonna just come into this and just start making money. And don't turn down brands because they're not saying, yeah, we're gonna pay you this amount of money for the content, because you're just not there yet. You know, we're gonna get there, you're not there yet. So now I'm on YouTube creating this video for this hair brand or whatever the case is, and they like the content that I created. One thing brands do that I did not know that they do, but they do it. If they work with an individual that they like and they feel like, you know, your content met their expectations, met what they are looking for their brand, they're gonna refer you to all of their friends, okay? Their co-brands, the brands that they, you know, have meetings with. Your name is going to pop up to all of the other brands, and now they're all going to come back and reach back to you. And some of them might be free, some of them they might start to see if they want to pay you, but more times than likely, second go round, it might still be, you know, just free items, which is cool. So yeah, so I don't want to go too deep into like how I started, because I'm gonna just start rambling, because it's a lot that I had to experience when I was first starting. So that's just like the general answer to the question of like how I started. The first brand that contacted me was a hair brand on YouTube, and I created content. It was free hair. They did not pay me. They reached out to me. I did not reach out to them, because I just got on my YouTube and I put on a wig that I bought first. I was doing hair that I bought with my own money, and then now a brand reached out to me and said, you know what, stop spending your own money on hair, we're gonna send you one for free and you could start creating your content that way. So I said, sure, why not? And that's basically how I started working with a brand. Let me take this off because this is tight as fuck and I feel like it's squishing my brain, like squishing my brain. Oh, that feels so much better. Oh my god, let me put something on my hand. Basically how I started getting my first collaborations was on YouTube, and you'll see that YouTube pretty much is predominantly where you're gonna have majority of your collaborations. YouTube, Instagram here and there, but it's so full of influencers already. They're not looking for micro influencers on Instagram. But YouTube, they don't really care who it is. YouTube videos are very lucrative and you never know who's gonna blow up. So brands are most likely to give items to a lot of YouTubers. That's just how it goes. I don't know why, but that's just how it works. If you're looking to really start making money on the internet, I would say start looking into creating a YouTube account. Make YouTube videos. It doesn't even matter what kind of like content you want to create. If you're just looking to like start getting sponsorships, YouTube is where it's at. That's where your money's at, baby, is on YouTube. But I do want to get into how I started working with brands on Instagram, because I feel like I just touched up on YouTube mainly, and even though that's mainly where it is, I do still get brand collabs on Instagram, so I'm going to touch up on that now. Instagram is a little bit different. I personally have never reached out to a brand? I think that was a question somebody asked me. I want to touch on that right now because I'm about to get into that. So the next question that was asked was, do you reach out to them or do they reach out to you? Are you paying for their items? So to start off, no, I do not. I have never reached out to a brand, even though you can. It is recommended to do so that you're like being in the face of the brands that you really personally want to work with. But I don't have a brand that I kind of felt like I really wanted to work with. I don't feel like there is a brand that I could reach out to right now at this time that I really want to work with, because I still feel like I want to grow and understand a little bit more of how I want to create content, rather than reaching out to a brand and, you know, I don't feel like I'm really ready to reach out to brands yet. And I say ready because I know the kind of brands that I want to reach out to are higher brands, more so like, I don't want to say luxury, because luxury could be anything to anybody, but they're more so of brands that require you to have a little bit more following, a little bit more of a high quality content. Yeah, I like my content. Yeah, I feel very proud of my content. I don't feel like my content is bad, but I don't feel like I'm at the best that I can be. So I kind of just want to wait before I reach out to brands and make sure that I'm kind of like, I feel really good about myself before I start reaching out. So yeah, I never reached out to a brand, and I kind of want to make sure that like I'm at the best that I can be before I start making my demands, because I know if I reach out to a brand, I need them to cut me a check, and that's period. I'm not about to reach out to a brand and, you know, not expect to get paid. Like, I expect to get paid if I reach out to a brand, and I know for a fact the brands that I'm going to reach out to are not going to look at my page where they feel like they could really benefit off of me. You know, I want to just make sure that I'm kind of like where I need to be before I start reaching out to brands. But it is recommended that you do so. Even if you are a smaller influencer, you can reach out to brands and see if they want to work with you. But personally, that's just not me. For one, I have really super bad anxiety, and for two, I just don't feel like I'm there yet. So I personally have never reached out to a brand. All the brands that I have ever worked with, they all reached out to me. I've never reached out to any brand to work with them. And so to answer the second part of the question, she had asked if I pay for their items. Absolutely not. I absolutely do not pay for anything. Any brand that requires you to pay for anything, including shipping, I don't care if it's anything. If they tell you to pay for the item, the shipping, the tracking, anything, that is a scam. We're not working with those type of people, okay? The minute they tell you you have to pay for shipping, you immediately know that shit is a scam, because for one, they're going to tell you shipping is about $40. And if you look at the item, it's going to be worth that money. It's going to be worth the $40 that they're telling you is worth for shipping. Like, no, we're not going to be paying for anything to work with a brand. The minute they start saying like, hey, you need to pay for this, you need to buy this first before we could send you the item, or, you know, you have to, like, anything, if there's not a straight cut, here is the website, pick something on the website, send it to us, send us your size and your address or wherever you want us to mail it to. If it's not straight cut like that, it's a scam. You shouldn't have to pay for anything to promote another brand. Like, for one, you're about to make hella money off of me from my followers, and you're not even paying me, and you want me to pay you so that I can promote your business, so I can get your business flourishing. You want me to, I might as well shop. Why don't you just say shop with me? It's no longer do you want to work with me. It's sounding a lot like shop my brand. So do not fall for those, okay? Those are scams. Absolutely not. Do not pay anything. Shipping, tracking, item, do not pay for anything, any fucking thing, because there are a lot of scammy Instagram accounts that try to make you pay to promote their stuff. Like, first of all, it takes work to create the content alone, and you want me to pay for the item and then work my ass off to create the content to put on my page to say, hey, go no, I'm sorry, no, that's not what I do. That's so no, that's a red flag right there. Do not work with those type of brands. We only work with brands that say, hey, pick something on a website and we're gonna send it to you. That's the only kind of brands that you want to be responding to. Anything else, like I said, is a scam. Yeah, I just started taking my content and putting it on Instagram and just being really super active on Instagram. You kind of want to take your pictures in a way that they know, like, this is the type of field that you are in. Like, you can kind of tell by the way somebody takes their photos if they are able to work with a brand or not. So like, when you start taking your Instagram photos and when you start posting on your Instagram, you want to make sure like your background is decluttered. You don't want to have like dirty socks in the back, rug folded up, cups everywhere, stains. You don't want those in your photos. You want to be like, almost like you want to have your camera in front of the window, because the window is going to bring direct light to you. You don't want to be behind the window, because you know, you're gonna start learning like I said, you're gonna start learning your way as an influencer as you go. So you kind of gotta just start somewhere, and then once you start, you'll have the right questions to ask so that you could thrive. But if you're just asking from a standpoint of not even trying yet, then you're kind of just gonna like have to like go through the motions of trial and error. And once you start taking your photos like that consistently, brands are going to feel a little bit more comfortable to work with you, because they know that the type of content you create is not going to look off their brand. You know, a lot of brands kind of want that clean, professional, crisp background with good lighting. You just kind of like think about, you just want to get like a visual of like what this brand would want. As an influencer, that's what you're thinking in your head all the time. How can I help this brand showcase their item in the best way for their audience and my audience as well? Start reeling in some money, you have to bring that brand some money. So that's how you start getting paid. And at that point, that's when I started getting paid. When I started to think like, okay, I cannot just take basic photos in the house all the time. I cannot take, you know, amateur photos. Like, I have to up my game up. And when you up your game and when you show brands like, hey, I'm not just an average person, I do want to work, I do want to put the effort in, and you know, show brands this is what I do, then that's when they're going to take you serious and think about paying you. Like, wow, this individual understands the assignment. Okay, that's what you want to do. You want to understand the assignment and you want to deliver and ace that motherfucker. Okay, you want them to be like, wow, we need her on the team. And that's how you get paid. Once you feel like your content is up there to start charging for it, you kind of want to come up with a rate for brands so that they're not just throwing a price at you and you're just accepting anything that they give you. You kind of want to like look at your content, look at your engagement, and kind of like balance how much you think it should be. You don't want to say like, hey, I feel like my content is worth $1,000 and you're only getting 30 likes on that content. So now I come up with a rate plan for either story posts, YouTube videos, story videos, reels. You know, you could get paid off of literally all of that. So I feel like I'm rambling and the sun is going to start leaving me, so I'm going to catch up on my makeup really quickly and then I'm going to come back. Sorry I didn't get to all of them. Like, I really did not even open up my Instagram and I did not scroll through my Facebook. I just answered the first two. I'm so bad. Like, that's why I don't ask questions on my social media, because I do not get to all of them and I feel so bad. And I know people are going to be watching my videos waiting for the answers to be putting questions to be answered, and I don't have an answer for you, sorry. But I feel like a lot of the questions are gonna be like pretty much around the same things, so I really hope I got to some of your questions. And if you have any more questions, you know exactly where to leave them. So okay, so that is it for the talking portion of it, because I'm gonna pull out the camera once I start taking my photos so that you guys can see how I go about creating brand content, not just me telling you guys like, hey, do this. I'm gonna show you guys like how I do it so that you guys see like my routine. I hope that it wasn't so confusing and that you guys were able to grasp something. I hope that I gave some type of knowledge and somebody somewhere was able to benefit from it. If not, I'm so sorry, sis. Like, I'm sorry. But yeah.
I promise you that you'll never meet another person as mentally tough as you in your entire life. And he hasn't, and he never will.